Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the Fix This Build That Sunday Night Live show. I'm Brad, and my better half is upstairs wrangling kids. So we've had a few unsettled evenings, so Susan is upstairs with our daughter, and she'll hopefully be joining us a little bit later. But I hope everybody is having an awesome day so far, and that you're having beginning to December. That's just amazing, because I can't believe we're already in the final month of the year, and it's been an awesome year. And, we have a few more projects to get done, and then we will be wrapped up. And hopefully I'll be taking a couple weeks off of at least video production, and we'll be doing a week of just, family time, and then another week of like back office stuff. But this week, I was actually over at my sister's doing some install on some home security, home automation stuff that will be the next video. So we are currently editing that, and that will be the next one. We'll see when it comes out, but it's going to be here in sponsor approvals for hopefully not for too long, but for as long as it takes to get those approvals, and then we can launch it so you guys can see it. Just as a question out to the group, and I hope all my audio and everything's coming through okay. I think it is. How many of you, I know I think we talked about Nest here on the live before. Actually, I'm going to jump the chat out right here real quick. But actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Be thinking about that. Be thinking about smart home, and I am interested, because I want to talk smart home here in just a little bit, but I'm getting way ahead of myself. So let me jump in and thank one new member to the Builders Club. We had Dave. I'm gonna go I couldn't even get that one. Hieronymus. We're going Hieronymus, like air, or is that's supposed to be short? Hieronymus. Dave, I apologize for butchering your name. I'm sure I did. But thank you so much for joining the Builders Club. If you guys are interested in joining the Builders Club and getting access to free plans, shoutouts in the lives, as well as in the main videos, you can go check that out at fixthisbuildthat.com/Builders Club. And a big thank you to all those Builder Club members that are here tonight. Thank you guys so much. All right. Man, that was brutal. Sorry about that, Dave. That was really brutal. So let's jump in and see who we have. Before I do that, I pinned a comment over in the chat. So if you're not in the chat, go check it out. I pinned a comment. If you guys have not seen that on my Instagram, I have a 20% off coupon. So if you weren't able to take advantage of any of the Black Friday deals, whatever, on ISO tunes, so you guys know that those are, I don't have any here within reach, but those are my preferred hearing protection. They're obviously a sponsor of the channel, and I've been using them for 3.5, almost 4 years now. I love the Extra 2.0s. Those are the ones that I wear. They're right around the corner. Let me grab them here. I know I got a pair hanging up. Actually, these are probably the 1.0s. Yep, these are the Extra 1.0s, because the 2.0s actually have a bigger battery for longer battery life, and then they got rid of this little piece and just integrated it there. So these are the ones that you'll see me wearing. I have them around my neck most of the time. If you like headphones like this style, kind of the in-ear ones, I highly recommend these. They're great people, and also, more importantly, great product. So you can get 20% off of these and any of their things using that link that is pinned in the comments. But it's only through tonight. So it's been going since, I think, Monday or Thursday, one day. It doesn't matter when it was going from. What it matters is it stops today. It stops tonight. So if you do want to take advantage of that, click the link. It'll apply it. You won't see it until checkout, but then you'll see the discount. 20% off and free shipping on pretty much everything, I believe. All right. Who we got out here? We got Paul Hartzell. We've got Daniel Pikes, Pat Kavanaugh, Alan Isaac, Travis Porter, Chris K, Animation Creations. What's up, man? Welcome back. Brian Farnth, Big Will. What's up, dude? Ryan Matthews, Cody Miller, Heart of a Handyman, the Husky, and James McIntyre. What is up, guys? Awesome. And Stan Powell, if you happen to be watching this on replay, I hope you're doing well, man. Our thoughts and prayers are still with you. All right. Before we jump in, no, not Animation Creations, not sponsored by Simply Safe. not Simply Safe. We're going to do, Susan's not here. And Scott's not even here yet. Well, hopefully Scott jumps on. Scott from Dad It Yourself DIY, you know Scott, he's a regular, sent over another thing of beer. These really got beat up this time. I'm surprised they didn't like bust open in the box. But I love the name, Stash Bandicoot. That is the beer of the week, Stash Bandicoot by Hop Valley Brewing out of Eugene, Oregon. So Stash Bandicoot packs a punch with our stash of Citra and, how the heck do you say that? Antinum and Chinook cryo hops. Wow, they are, these people sound like they are really into making their own type of hops. With notes of apricots and red berries, this is a Hazy Imperial IPA. Let's check it out. Hazy Imperial, this sounds strong. Smells good. Oh, that's nice. That is real nice. That is like, if you're into hazies or into Imperial IPAs, they're usually like really heavy and kind of, you know, strong, hit you in the face. This is smooth. That's very good. I give that 2 thumbs up. Susan does as well. Stash Bandicoot from Hop Valley Brewing. Go check it out if it's at your local store. Oh, all right. That is delicious. All right, now we're back in it. We are back in it. No, actually not Ring, so it's not actually Ring or Simply Safe. It's the other one. It is Nest. I tell you what, so I'm talking about the install I just did at my sister's house. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you guys have not, I use Ring here at the house, and it was Nest over there. I am seriously considering changing over because the Google Home app is awesome. It puts the Ring app to shame, like severe shame. And I guess you should expect that because, you know, Google is a software company, and so you would expect their software to be very good, and it is. It is phenomenal. Some of the major differences that I saw in like the Ring app is like the different types of detection. So on the Ring app, it just says motion. It's always just motion, right? And you can set the sensitivity and stuff like that. But on the Google app, it'll actually tell you. It'll be like, I saw a person. For like the front door camera specifically, the doorbell. I saw a person. I saw a person with a package. And then it will also say, I saw a person, like if it senses a package, it will then tell you, saw a person and now the package is gone. So person seen, package gone, which is so cool. So like if you were away and you're like a package got delivered and then, you know, all of a sudden you get an alert that it's like package is gone and it's like real time that you can, you know, yell at them on the doorbell or call a neighbor or do something. But I thought that was amazing. And then it'll also detect animals or vehicles. It's just that whole like awareness of what it's seeing. I was blown away, honestly, because like I said, the Ring is just like, yo, something moved. And like a lot of times it's an insect. So I get a lot of light triggers on the indoor one. And then I get a lot of spider and spider web triggers on the Ring. So I'm going to give, kind of sneak peek of the video. 2 thumbs up to the Google Home app. That thing is amazing. All right, Cody, thank you for joining on, man. It's been a long time, but we always welcome you back. Let's see, Animation Creations. Just got a Ring doorbell, Alexa, linking them all together. Yeah, and that is, I think that's the one thing that and so there are some downsides to and again, you know, this is, the video is actually going to be sponsored by Home Depot, not directly by Nest. So, you know, I'm going to tell you either way. I mean, I'm not going to say like it's not like an ad for Google Nest. It's just like an awareness of like, here's all the features. But like the stuff that the one thing I did not like was they don't have a great option for a wired plug-in that has a light on it. So that's the one thing about Ring that I really like is we have their what do they call them? I think they call it like the Ring Cam with the outdoor Ring Cam with light. Like there's 2. There's like a floodlight. We've got that one on the front, and then there's a cam that's got LED lights on the side and it shines. And that one plugs into an outlet. And so I wanted the same thing from Nest, but they don't have that. They just have an indoor-outdoor cam and no option for lighting to go along with that. They do have a wired, like that you plug into an electrical box, that you wired into a junction box, floodlight, which is amazing, but they don't have that lit version. So that'll probably be the main reason why I don't switch if I don't. So if any of you guys have those, they're awesome. UFI door cam, like the Ring. Oh, I've heard of the UFI door cam, but I've not used it. And from the frozen north, James. I bet it is frozen up there, my man. Taylor, what's up, my man? It is Sunday, and you are here. Those are both accurate statements. When it rains. Oh yeah. Yep, animation creations, exactly. That's like mine doesn't do it when it rains, but I get the tree movement a lot. And I've tried to because you can make little boxes to say don't detect motion in this area or only detect motion in this area. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But that Google Home stuff, man, is solid. Let's see here. Ryan Matthews, Home Depot for Black Friday had a deal on the Ring job site camera kit for job sites. I've not seen that. I'm not seeing what's included in that job site camera kit, Ryan. That sounds interesting. I thought they were more just home. I didn't realize they had like a commercial job site product. That's interesting. Paul's got the UFI as well. Yeah, I've seen that around, but who makes UFI? Is that like Anchor? Or is UFI just a brand? I don't know. Let's hear Travis. Travis says he needs to get his Google Nest Wi-Fi set up and replace his old modem router. I need to do that as well. We've been having Wi-Fi issues here a lot. I just ordered a new router, and wireless router or whatever, and it's just a router, not a modem, and I haven't hooked it up yet. That thing was expensive, man. I mean, I wanted to get like a really nice one because it's my job, and it is, it's a business expense. So, but yeah, this stinking thing was like $200. But it's like Wi-Fi 6 and like had all the high level throughput and all that good stuff. But $200 is a whole lot of money to spend on a router. But I guess when the internet is your business, it makes sense. Let's see here. 0 degrees, James. Wow, that's no good. That is no good. Travis, absolutely yes. Ring Spotlight Cam is what it's called. Thank you, Travis. Let's see here. T-Hub. How many times in the past 4 years have I wished for a sliding miter saw? Oh, and it sounds like we may have a visitor. I didn't bring your. Sorry. I wanted to keep. Yeah, it's all the way in the back. I wanted to keep nice and crispy and cold for you. I didn't know when you're coming out. Okay. Susan will be joining us very shortly. Taylor, that's a great question because I get that question all the time about like, why don't you have a sliding miter saw? Because like everybody's got a sliding miter saw. And it's mainly because for the size. I don't like the size of a sliding miter saw. And there's a little bit of wiggle and play on a lot of them. But that's the thing, though, is that I've not wished I had a sliding miter saw many times in the past 4 years. Because, hey, baby.
Hello. Hey, Betty.
Welcome to Susan.
Hi.
Because, there's other ways to do it. So the only, like I think I can get up to 8 inches. I think I can do a 2x8, at least a 2x8, because what are those, 7 1/4? I can get, yeah, it's just right about 8 inches. So I can do for sure do a 1x8. I can go even a little bit further, but then, with the 2x because it's raised up a little bit more. And I just don't work with boards over 8 inches that much. And if it's a glue up, then I'm going to be then it's going to be much wider. So I don't because then most of the sliding miter saws go up to 14 to 16 inches, something like that. Oh, this is good.
This sounds crazy.
It does sound crazy. They went a little, they really are into hops.
The description is.
Yeah. But what do you think?
I'm just smelling it.
Stop. I don't want to ruin the audience enjoying you tasting the beer.
That is good.
That's what I said.
I like the name.
It's like smooth, isn't it?
I mean,
it's so smooth for an Imperial IPA.
This is dangerous. Where do you get this?
Yeah, it's Eugene, Oregon.
Everything's out of Oregon. Lots of
Well,
good
it's
beer.
because Scott keeps sending this to us. Sending it to
Thank you, Scott.
us.
This is good. All right,
I
so.
was like, what is that up there? I thought it was like a spider or something. That's like the drywall patch. That's now
Oh,
partially covered.
I see that. Okay.
So yeah, Taylor, that's kind of like, so it's basically, I can't cut, the things that I could cut are probably between 8 and 16 inches. And I just don't work with much material that's between 8 and 16 inches, frankly. If I'm doing panels, they're typically, I mean, I guess if I'm doing like cabinet panels, that would probably be the only thing, like a 12-inch cabinet panel, panel side. Yeah, that would be nice. But I just cut those on the table saw sled. So I think the better question could be like, when could I have used it? And that could have been like when I'm cutting those sides of the cabinets would be the first thing that comes to mind. But I can just as easily cut them on the table saw with the table saw sled. And so, yeah, not very many times. Maybe like cutting down like 8-quarter lumber. That might be the one time that it would be nice, because then you could do the multiple shallow passes. I would say that. But other than that, don't miss it. You all right?
Yeah, just yawning.
Daughter's asleep now?
No,
No.
but
Okay.
restful.
Okay.
Yeah.
right.
So we may have someone come knocking at the door, but hopefully not.
That's all good. Let's see here. Ryan, it's an orange plastic tool case with something like a floodlight, a camera, etc. It's a 4-piece set. That's portable. That's interesting. How is it, oh, did you say that, is it cellular? I assume it's cellular then? Because if you're just like out there, it has to have a way to communicate or to get Wi-Fi. Interesting. Made the mistake of turning on live feed and killed the battery in 3 hours. We're talking about home automation and the home security camera. So I was telling them about wiring all that stuff up.
We got to spend time with Holly's dogs.
Yes.
It was really nice. Like, we had work to do and everything.
It was
But
fun. Those
we
dogs
don't-
were super calm.
Yeah, like.
Do you have your phone?
No, it's up there. She's listening to it.
All right.
I know.
We
But-
got an update.
They're so cute. Oh, yes.
We had an update sent to us from
Smokey's mom.
new owner,
Yes.
and
He's so big, guys.
he's huge. We'll show you next week.
We're gonna go visit him, I think. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
If you're not familiar,
ask
Smokey was
her.
the dog we had for a hot minute,
like
3 weeks. He
Brad
made
couldn't
it on
breathe.
live. I couldn't breathe. We booted him. Yeah, but
we found a loving.
he's
No,
looking super
he's
cute.
like, he's got the best life because
He
he's
does.
got this wonderful family. He lives really close by, so we visit him from time to time, and they're really nice. They're so sweet, and he's got a little doggy to play with, a big dog to play with, and is just running around being.
It's wonderful.
Being Smokey. So, but he's gotten so big.
He is.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Animation Creations. His Google Assistant doesn't work well with his accent. That stinks. Let's see here. Let's just name it. I like that. Yeah. Ring. I don't know. Ring doorbell though. That's a pretty decent name.
Yeah.
Doesn't really work as well with the other cameras, but that's okay. Daniel, do any tool brands have outdoor equipment like a lawnmower that run off? I think she's here. Yep.
Oh, crap. All right. What's going on?
Do any tool brands have outdoor equipment like a lawnmower that run off 20-volt batteries so you can use the same batteries? Yes, with outdoor equipment. Daniel, absolutely. Several do. The one that I'm most familiar with that works the best is DeWalt. And it's because also DeWalt has the FlexVolt system. And DeWalt has, so their FlexVolt, I've actually got the weed eater. I'll just grab it. It's right. I might even be able to do it with this still hooked up. Because I had to move it in. Actually, I'm not going to be able to do that. Let me unhook this real fast. Nobody's here. All right, so check this out. This is my weed eater. One of my weed eaters, actually. Everybody needs 2 weed eaters. This is the DeWalt 60-volt FlexVolt. And so when you say 20 volt, it could run off of 20 volt. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. I don't know. Why don't we find out? I've got 20 volt over here. So like this is a FlexVolt that is 6 amp hour, 20 volt, and 60 volt. So this is like a big daddy, right? Because this is what you want to run your stuff on. I think some of them do actually run on 220 volts, but this one cranks it up to 60 volts. But you could also use this on your drills in a 6 amp hour. You know, like if you had a hammer drill, you might use it. You wouldn't obviously want to necessarily throw this on a drill you're using every day. But if you needed the extra power, and there are tools that can use this. So DeWalt is the one I'm the most familiar with. And the, what did I just say? I just said let's test it out. I don't know, let's find out. I don't know if this will run off on a 20 volt. This thing, it's a hoss though. I've got it on low right now. It's stout. I'm gonna grab a 20 volt. Let's grab a 20 volt and see what happens. Because I've never tried it. I've done it the other way. I've used the 60 volt on a drill, but I've never tried to use a 20 volt on the weed eater. So we're gonna find out what happens. All right, so here we go. All right, we got it. I've got a 4 amp hour 20 volt. So here, let's just do a little test. We'll just keep it on low. We'll see. We'll have to just do the sound and see what we think. All right. Sorry if that was like blowing your ears out, but that's what that sounds like. Let's try a 20 amp. Excuse me, 20 volt. 20 amp would be ridiculous. It doesn't even fit on there, so I guess that's our answer right there. Why does that not fit on there? It's because it's a different... Doesn't that look like it's the same? Oh, because it's got little... All right, so it actually does not fit on there. There are little tabs. So you see these little tabs here? Do those push in? They must push in. Yeah, they push in. So these little black tabs right here. So you see the mounts look the same, but this does not have these little black indentations there. And so, which is smart, they make it so you actually can't put the battery in. So no, you cannot run this on a 20 volt. Oh well. Well, the more you know, and now you know. There you go. If you need to go do some weed eating, in the middle of December, you're gonna have to use a 60 volt. So there you go. That was entertainment and education for everybody. All right, I had no idea, but yeah, you cannot use 20 volt on a 60 volt tool, which probably makes sense. Probably blow up the battery. All right, let's see here. I feel like that would be a good thumbnail. So we'll have to, let me grab the timestamp off of that. Where are we at, gentlemen and ladies? 22 minutes. We'll do that one. All right, what else we got here? Let's see here. Paul just purchased the Makita slide miter saw. Nice. All right, who else we have? Made the mistake of turning. Oh, saw that. The Google Home. Okay. All right, we're caught up, or at least there. Burn through a ton of batteries. You would if you were using 20 volt for sure. Oh, Taylor, think about offloading your Bosch axial for a 12-inch DeWalt stationary. Just rough breakdowns, generally smaller footprint and more accurate. Let's play it. See, that is 100% the reason that I stay with mine, Taylor. So from my vantage point, I would highly recommend it. If you have a table saw sled, I don't see any downside. All right, Brian Farth, any ideas on how to fix a stripped screw hole in a storm door? It's the hole connecting the pneumatic closer. Okay, fix a stripped screw hole in a storm door. So your problem, and if I'm familiar, I think I'm familiar with what you're saying, is right? Like you got the pneumatic closer that keeps it from slamming, but you have to tune it just right so it does shut. And if that is going into the door, what I've seen a lot of times is like in that thin metal. But if there is an actual threaded insert or whatever, if it's going in, because a lot of those are aluminum, most all those are aluminum, that I've seen at least. You might be able to retap it, because if it is aluminum and if it's not just been like completely blown out, if it's completely blown out, then you could drill it out and do a pop rivet. I don't know what they call them, they call it like a nutsert. It's like an insert that's a nut, and you put the nut in there, and it's like a pop rivet, and you can basically reestablish a rivet in there. I wonder if I have one of those, but if it's, I would look that up. I would look it up as just search for nutsert. I know that is a really interesting name, nutsert. But it would be, it would end up being like this, right? Like one of these threaded inserts, except they make them for metal, where you can put it in and just like a pop rivet and close it out. And I don't know if you have to have a specific tool for that. You probably do, but there are other types, because I've got another one that it'll close on itself. So that would probably be the thing just off the top of my head is you might be able to fix that with an insert, a metal insert that's made for that type of work. But I know I used some of those on the tool cabinet that I put together. It was actually that one. They kind of told you, and it's just sheet metal, and they're like, if you need, position where you want the handles on the back, or like, not the handles, but what was it for, like cords or something like that, and you just drill out a hole. So you drill like a, whatever, 3/8 hole, and then put that, and this one was not a pop rivet type. It was just, I put the nut in there, and then when you turn the bolt into the nut, it actually cranks down and seals that insert in there. So it's like almost like the screws that, the toggle bolts. I don't think I have any of those, but when you screw it down, like if you've ever seen those anchors where when you put the screw in, it's kind of like that, and then it expands out and like collapses on itself. Don't know what I'm talking about, right? Same type idea. So you drill a hole in the aluminum door, you put the insert in there, it's got a big flange on the outside, and the inside is threaded to, whatever, M8 or M5 or quarter 20 or whatever it is. And then as you screw it in, it pulls it tight, and then it expands out the metal of the insert to lock it in place. Super hard to explain, but hopefully it at least gives you something to go Google and see if you can make any sense of what I just said. Let's see. All right, what else we have here? An installer at Best Buy. Avoid Blink cameras. They're your least favorite. Frank, thank you for that feedback. I've been hearing about the Blink stuff. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, Blink, get the Blink. Because I don't know if they're fairly inexpensive, but it seems like that. But good to know. And Travis works part-time in the warehouse of one of the stores okay, Best Buy, I'm assuming you're saying. I thought you were saying like for Blank. I was like, ooh, don't talk, we got a smack talk going on. Will, who's taller, Brad or Susan? Susan is. She is an inch and change taller than I am. She is a solid 6 foot, almost right dead on. And I'm just under 5'11". I'm like 5'10" and a half. But I mean, that's like a kid. Like when you say you're like 6.5, like when somebody asks you how tall you are, so I just round up. I just say 5'11". But yes, she is absolutely taller than me. That's why I make her sit down. No, I'm just kidding. She sits down because she likes to sit down. And that would be, her and I, we could just hug it out. But yes, that was actually a really interesting thing when, if as a guy or a girl, I mean, I guess it's like the gender roles. It's not even gender roles, just in general. Men are obviously taller than women. I think the average height of a woman is around 5'5", or maybe 5'6". I think 5'5". And the average height for a man, I think, is around 5'9". Correct me if I'm wrong there. So in general, men are typically taller than women. So Susan was the first girl I ever dated that was taller than me. And I have to say that took a little doing. I was like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with this. But clearly I was. And that was like a conversation we had to have, because she was the same way. She's like, she had always dated guys that were taller than her. But when you got a guy like me, you make exceptions, right? No. So yeah, that was an interesting thing. But I remember when the first time I met her, she came with one of my good buddies' girlfriends. It was her sister, who is now my sister-in-law, oddly enough. They both got married. We both got married. But that's how I met her. My buddy's girlfriend brought her sister along, which is her, and she walked in the party, and she's like taller than everybody at the party. And we're like, who is that? What else do we have in here? Paul, what's the brand of vacuum hose that I use for the rigid trim router and jigsaw? I use what do I use? I use the, what did you ask? For the trim router and the jigsaw. I use the hose that comes on the Fine Turbo Vac. So I use the Fine, I don't know if it's the Turbo 2 or the Turbo 1, but it's the smaller one. And it's the hose that comes with that. And it's awesome. I really like it because it's got a cool, I'm grabbing everything tonight, so I'm just gonna go grab that so you guys can, I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. Watching the videos, which I know you guys have. this is the end of it. I put this little braided sleeve on there, a little tip from Nick Key over at Key Woodworks. And this, because it is ribbed, it keeps it from, y'all can't see that, can you? Back here. So it keeps it from getting caught. So it's undone at the end, and if you've got this cool little hose, this little sleeve on it, it's like a mesh sleeve that can expand, then it keeps it from getting caught up, which is really nice. And it's got this rubber port at the end, so this is the fine, that's why it's orange here. And it's got a little suction increase or decrease, so you can let air in if you wanted less, or if it got stuck on something, you need to vent it to get it off. And then this part, which is, it's counter threaded, reverse threaded, which always messes with me. And it's got this nice little rubber piece, and that fits perfectly on the handheld router for the rigid router that I have for the dust port. It also fits perfectly on, what does it fit on? It fits right over the dust port for the Craig 720 Pro, the new one. And then what else did you ask for? The jigsaw. I don't think it actually fits really nicely with my jigsaw output, but I don't know what size that is. It's probably 1 1/4 inch, I would assume. I hate dust collection fittings. Like, why? I wish there was a standard. It's 1 5/8 inches, not 1 1/4 inch. So the interior of that. But then I've got other things that I attach to it. But yes, I really do like this hose. It's really nice. But it is the hose that just comes with the turbo vac, and it wouldn't fit on other machines because the end of it's got a little key slot on it. But there you go. I do highly recommend the Fine turbo vac though. Great little dust extractor. It's the pin connectors that are different. I don't think it's the pin connector. Is it the pin? Maybe it's pin connectors. I looked at it real quickly and it looked like they're the same. No, the pin connectors are the same. It's not the pin connectors. Yeah, the pin connectors are exactly the same because they have to be, because this works on the 20 volt as well. So this can go to the 20 volt because it's the flex volt, but this cannot go to the 60. So the pin connectors are exactly the same. They even got the little things on there. B+, the TH, C1, C3, blah, blah, blah. It's literally just these two. And I believe they put these there to keep you from putting these on there, because it would probably like destroy the battery because it would draw too much amperage from it, or too much voltage, or both. I don't know. Let's see here. So this one is a 20 volt, 4 amp hour, 80 watt hours. This is wait a minute, what? It's 2 amp hour in the 60 volt, so I guess that makes sense because you reduce it, voltage and amperage kind of go hand in hand, and 120 watt hours. So this battery is 66% beefier than this one, even though it is only 50% more amp hours. I'm getting out of my league, so don't. That's all I know. I can just read you the numbers. All right. Excuse me. It's on the door. Oh, it's fiberglass. So Brian, it's fiberglass, not aluminum. I don't know. That still might work. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see here. 12-inch axial glide. Sean Brotherton can split a 5mm pencil line in half. 0 issues with accuracy. That's good to know. I know those are better. Like the Bosch axial and like the Delta Cruiser. Which actually the rigid, they just came out with one. I think they literally bought they are licensing the design of the Delta Cruiser because it looks exactly the same. But having that more beefy mechanical articulating arm versus the rail and slides, that was a cool innovation, and it does seem to be definitely more accurate. All right. Oh, and Brian said huge help. Thank you. Awesome. Ryan, I think the Blink is a brand. I think the Blink camera is a brand. Oh, sorry. Was that way too loud when I ran that thing? Sorry about that, guys. No, I see the viewership. The viewership like dropped way off. So clearly, or maybe that was when I was going over and yelling into the microphone. Sorry about that, guys. All right, Animation Creation says, best part about the sleeve is you can run power cords through it, splice the connector into some of those tools to allow the same cord to be used, kind of like the fist tool. Yes, yeah, that's a great point too. Is that little mesh sleeve? You can run that power cable right along it if you wanted to have it all in one, just like the fist tool does. So it's interesting. I have that same style at the end of my Merca. The Merca actually it runs the cable, the power cord through the hose, which I found interesting. Like the shielded cable is actually run through the vacuum hose instead of outside of it and wrapped together. And I've never had any issues with it, but it seems kind of weird. Like you wouldn't want to have that in there because it just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. Like it would clog stuff easier and I don't know, static electricity or something. I don't know, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. Husky 1213, absolutely go Vols. Hopefully we get a good ball game here. When are they announcing bowl games? Is that because I know all the conference championships were yesterday, so I don't know if they've already started doing that or what. Pat Cavanaugh, where'd I get the braided sleeve? I got it just off Amazon, and frankly, I have no idea what it's called, other than probably braided sleeve or what size it was. I don't know. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. If I can go into my Amazon history. If I can, I'll tell you what it is, because it is really cool because it stops it from getting caught on things very well. Apparently, my daughter is definitely not doing well, so I don't think Susan's coming back. Oh, come on! This wants me to. What is this doing? Why am I not signed in? We'll do it on the cell phone here. All right, let's see what we got. Amazon shopping. How much do you guys buy on Amazon? I mean, I get packages from Amazon like 3 times a day. It's ridiculous. I buy way too much stuff off of Amazon, but it's just so nice, so easy. All right, orders. Search for my orders. We're going to search for hose. See if that does it. Because that is a really nice thing, too, about Amazon. You can just search your past orders, and it, okay, it's not under hose. What about, and it just comes right up is what I was going to say. Braid, what did you say? Sleeve? Let's go for sleeve. There it is. All right. It is if you're going to search for it, I'll put it in here. This is an Electroduct 1.5 inch. Where are we going? So this is for the hose. It is an Electroduct 1.5 inch PET expandable braid sleeving. Hopefully I spelled it right. If you search for that on Amazon, that's what you'll get, and that should be the little picture that you get. Let's see how much it was when I bought it. I bought a section of the black, 25-foot section of the black color is $17. So that seemed like a pretty decent deal for me. It wasn't too crazy expensive, so I went for it, and it's very nice. $17 well spent. All right. Let's hear Sean agree about the dust ports should have a standard. 100%. I hate that. Ripcord. Am I excited for Morbius or Spider-Man? I don't know what the heck is Morbius. I'm intrigued now. What is I'm going to search for? I'm going to search it up. My daughter says I love that. Search it up, Dad. I'm going to search it up. I'm very excited for Spider-Man. We are a Marvel family, and I'm excited for it. Morbius, is that a DC thing? Because I'm more into Marvel than DC. This looks like some type of comic, maybe. It's on the Marvel comics. Okay, I'm not familiar. Morbius, the living vampire. Bring it on. I'm a big fan of anything from Marvel. So, but that's not part of the MCU, the Marvel Creative Universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe, not creative. I like that. I'll add that to the list. Jeff Baker, what's up, man? It's all good. Better late than never, as they say. On our website. Paul Hartzell. What I would suggest to you, man, is go, if you've not listened to Made for Profit yet, go check that out. It's a podcast John Malecki and I used to do, and we have a ton of information about like sales leads and going through that and like kind of how to use your website. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to have time to check it out. We could just check it out right now. I'll tell you what, throw it in there. If you want all of us to do it for you right now, throw it in here and we'll go. Paul Hartzell, throw it up. We'll pull it up. We'll do it right now. I mean, this is because this is where, so what I've been trying to do, I'm trying to answer less DMs and things on Instagram and emails and like funnel everybody here. And this is the time that I set aside to hang out with you guys and answer all these questions. And that would be what I would tell you if you emailed me. I would say, hey, go to the live. How do I heat my shop in the winter? Ryan, I use a Mitsubishi mini split HVAC, and it is awesome. Best decision I made for the shop. Honestly, like if you ask me best upgrade I ever did in my shop, by far it would be the mini split. Not cheap, but you know, this is my office. This is my workspace. This is where I spend all my time, and so you know, it's worth it for me, obviously, to be productive, because it would get up into the, you know, upper 80s in here and humid as all get out, and then in the winter it would be, you know, like 50, 55, you know, which neither of those are like horrible, but they're not comfortable, and you know, you don't work as well. So I want to say, and this was many years ago, so I'm sure it would be more now, although they do have a lot of cheaper DIY systems. I had it installed, and I think it was about $3,200. So I did go for a nicer model because I wanted it, you know, I didn't want to have somebody out. Like, there's a lot of, like, I see a lot of them, they're like $800. You can buy one and then go install it yourself. I don't know how. You'd have to go check the reviews to see how good those are and what the longevity is. But I know Mitsubishi, those are one of the top brands of mini splits. And so we just went for that, and I have zero regrets. And it's, you know, buy once, cry once type thing. And for the last 3 or 3.5 years, it has been just a delight in the shop. I just keep the garage closed. You know, I don't ever chill with the garage open unless it's like a really, you know, mild day where it's like in the mid 70s or something. And it's awesome. I would 100% recommend if you're doing any, you know, if you can afford it in the sense of your shop is paying you. So if it's as your business, 1000% do that. Or if it's just a really big hobby for you and you want to be comfortable, then it would be a good investment in my opinion. All right, what else do we have out here? 150 orders. I only made 150 orders. My goodness, animation. That sounds, well, it depends on what you're doing. I guess 150 orders, you know, cutting boards or coasters, probably not a lot. Dining tables, that would be a lot. All right. Craftsman Cunningham. Your comment got hidden, and I will leave it hidden, but that was funny. It got held for review. Let's see here. 2 Amazon accounts. It has 170 orders. That's 320 orders this year. I gotcha. Let's see here. Oh, it's coming out in January and it has Spider-Man in it. Ripcore. I'm gonna definitely go see if I can see the trailers for that because it sounds fun. Yeah, James. I know in Canada you probably don't need the cooling as much as you need the heat, obviously. So I used to use heat from one of those oil-filled radiator style heaters that were like the portable ones that, you know, like $50. And I tell you what, man, those work really, really nicely. And I would just turn it on and just like let it rip and put it on high, and it would heat the shop up pretty well. But it's like, it takes a long time. And then, you know, if you do open up the door or whatever, it takes a long time to like get it back to a nice level. And it's just like constantly blazing, right? So it's like all on or all off. Whereas this, you know, having a thermostat in the HVAC is fantastic. It'll come on when it needs to and go off. Plus it obviously dehumidifies, and because it does have air conditioning, and it's just amazing. Let's hear Paul. Paul says, "Be gentle. It does not come up." Paul, let me see here. Let me turn this to live chat. It's on top chat again. Let me go to live chat and see if that changes. But it did not come through, Paul. I wonder if it filters it out because it's a website. And these messages come in really weird for me sometimes, so I think they get delayed. But yeah, if you've not put that in there, Paul, go ahead and put that in, and we'll pull it up, man. Oh, animation creations. We were talking about Amazon orders, and you were talking about ordering. I thought you were talking about like, yeah, sorry. My mind went to you like building stuff for some reason, like you were fulfilling orders. And I was like, I don't know, that sounds like a lot, but I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. What's the total? So 320? That's a lot, dude. That's like one a day if you're 320 year to date. Let's see here. Where can I see that? Will it tell me like how many I've ordered this year? Search my orders. The past. Well, I have so much. Like we order tea. I do know this. So we get Zest tea. It's this like high calf tea because neither of us drink coffee. And I went to click it, and it was like, you've ordered this 53 times. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. So I've got 53 orders of that. Now, it probably wasn't all this year. But this was my last purchase. This was the last item on my purchase that just came through. And I did buy this for myself. Yes, friends. That is the Nerf Elite Blaster. So, sometimes you got to treat yourself to a new Nerf gun. And, the kids are always having better guns than me. So I just got a Nerf Blaster. And it's awesome. It just came in. The Nerf Elite 2.0 Echo, in case you're wondering. It's a pretty sweet blaster. All right, Paul, your site still has not come through, so I'm not avoiding it. If you've entered it in for whatever reason, it is not coming through for me. Ryan, if I had to stick to one or the other, would I rather have all cordless or all corded tools? Hands down, cordless, for sure. Because it's just, for one thing, cordless, and obviously not major machinery, because those don't come in cordless with the same capacity. But battery technology has come so far. It is just so much better than it was, when I first got into woodworking back in Nam. No, when I first, I was like, it was NiCad batteries back then, or nickel metal hydride. And, those were just trash. They just died so fast, and the power wasn't there, and they would die off. They would drain in between if you didn't use them. That was horrible. And now, with all the brushless and the lithium, they're just amazing. You get as much or more power. I mean, I was running that weed eater. You heard that thing running. That thing is like a tank. Like, that would crush some of the gas-powered ones out there. So, far and away, cordless. And the only things that I do use corded that are not major tools, stationary tools, would be like a hammer drill. But even then, I still use a cordless one for most of the stuff. But if I was doing a bunch of holes, if I was doing like footers, or not footers, but sill plates, on a slab or something like that, like you would want a corded one for that, or have a lot of batteries. But yeah, dude, cordless is just the way to go. I love cordless. Oh, put it in. Sorry, Paul. Yeah, it's eating it up, dude. It's not letting it come through. Maybe like type it out instead of, and type like .com instead of like the dot, type in like DOT. Or just put the first part if it's .com. Just put the first part and then space dot, and then I'll know, and I'll put that in. Let's see. When Nerf made a gun, but it was a nail gun and shot the bullets out of a magazine fixed to the gun. What? When Nerf made a Nerf gun, but it was a nail gun and shot the bullets out of a magazine fixed to the gun. That sounds fantastic. I need to convert. I'm grabbing Susan's beer. I might. If she didn't come back, I'm going to start drinking it. That sounds like an excellent project, converting a nail gun into a Nerf gun. I think going the opposite way probably wouldn't work too well. But that would actually that'd probably be a good video. Yeah, the cordless is just so much better. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get to, table saw, planer, or thickness, or joiner. Those just need, when you're getting up to the 3 horsepower variety and more, obviously you just can't do that with cordless at this point without like having some serious, running it off like a battery station, not like an actual something you can hold in your hand. But yeah, I think one day they'll probably get there too, because you can have like all these houses, like if you had a Tesla power wall, you could run you're like basically running plug-in tools off of solar, off of batteries. Same idea. It's just not directly hooked up. It's not a cordless battery, but it is battery powered based off the sun. And that works too. I would love, did any of you guys have solar? How many folks out there, if any, have solar at their house? I'm super interested in solar, but I've not done any. I've done a little bit of research. Our house isn't situated the right way because we face due west. We face due east. And so the sun comes over and, we have just a typical, front to back roof or whatever. So we get the sun, so the roof would only get it in the morning. It wouldn't get full sun enough of the day versus I think the best scenario is like if you're facing north or south for solar, because then one side of your roof is going to have sun the entire day in most locations, all locations in the U.S. at least. They were foam bullets. They're just shaped into a nail gun. I got you, Ryan. That's awesome. Free Google website, maybe that's the problem. Oh, maybe it is, Paul. And if they're, yeah. I don't see it in there, Paul, but, I'm sure it's great. All right, cords for saw. Now, James, I tell you what, the circ saws are great without cords. I've got a couple. Actually, I do my track saw. I do have a corded track saw, but if it was cordless, I would use it cordless for sure. And she's back. How did that go? Tears okay. Or just concern? Sorry, I moved a weed eater right there. I don't know if you saw that, or if you just want to trip over it.
Tears, but a different person.
Oh no.
They're keeping me on my toes
noise.
Tonight. Yes, there was a noise that was heard, and then I thought that it was like bad people and.
I understand. I get it.
Drama.
I get it.
So we're good now.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Maybe I can make it out here for longer than like 45 seconds. Did you drink my beer?
I did not. I just told them. I was like, I'm about to start drinking
very
it.
impressed.
I'm just finishing mine still.
Wow.
I just got through telling them I'm about to start drinking your beer.
If I had to bet money, I would have lost. I would have thought you would have drunk it.
We've had a ton of questions, and so I hadn't had the chance to.
Love it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Being on a job site with no power and to be able to use cordless table saw is unreal. Absolutely. Crafts by Cunningham. I've seen a few cordless table saws, and actually the ones that I've seen also is like Goal Zero. I know DeWalt makes a power station that you can plug in for these guys too, and it will run.
Props.
I've seen people run planers off of these. So yeah, we were having a whole conversation about I've been grabbing everything, but yes, I think battery technology is only going to get better from here, and I think that we'll soon be running everything off of battery power, honestly. And we're looking at getting a new van, and we've been looking at we can't really do electric, and there's not that many electric vans, if any. I think there might be one.
I know of, a hybrid.
Yeah. Well, no, there's multiple hybrids.
Oh.
But there's one.
Oh, fully electric.
There's one fully electric, I believe.
I didn't know that.
I believe there is. But anyway, but we can't necessarily do that because to charge it I'd need to park in the shop, and we're not going to do that. But yeah, I think battery technology is definitely going to be the wave of the future for powering everything.
That's what I heard. I don't think I told you about this. I heard a news article. It's like a story on the radio, and they were talking about there was this man that his whole house is electric. Essentially, he's got like solar panels on his roof, and he's got the whole system going. He spent like $20,000 or something to completely do that. Well,
yeah, he didn't spend $20,000. That was.
Well, maybe that was part of it. He's into this though. Like I don't know if he's a professor, but he's like somehow very into this anyway. And we got it all set up. He lives in New Orleans because after like the storms that have come through there, he was like, this is for the birds. And so it was not Katrina. It was like another big one recently. Everything was down. What was that one where like all the power was out, like in the 9th Ward and all that? And he was the only one that still had power.
Do you remember
and
that
so, like,
one
but
flood?
People would like come to his house like for their medicine to stay cool and to be able to like it was huge, you know. So
I don't know if it was Katrina or if it was one of these like massive crazy ones. And that house that had that like barrier that they had bought.
no.
Do you guys remember this? There was
barrier.
like, it was like they had bought this. It was, I gotta look this up because it was like the craziest looking thing. I'm gonna say like flood barrier house. I don't know. Inflatable flood barrier. There was this one house that like, I mean, like everything was underwater except for this house. Oh, was it this guy here? And, I think no, it was that. And it was just like the wildest thing.
That's crazy
just
looking.
elevation. I think it was this guy here. A Texas man. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it right there. So
I don't think I've heard about this.
yeah, so so this guy here, let me see if I can share this. They make these like inflatable barriers around your house. And this dude, let's see here, we're gonna go to screen share.
Look at you, fancy.
I know. So this guy right here, he built this, or he didn't build it. He bought this thing, and like people are like laughing at him, and then he's just chilling out there while everybody else is like all flooded out. He's got, oh, this is probably gonna use this for. So when was this? This was during Randy Wagner drove to Louisiana to buy an aqua dam. It's just the same picture, but yeah, it's. I better get back off that before it starts loading up like a video. Well,
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so that was that was like crazy. That's what I think about. Where like people are like, man, I'm
He's
forget
prepared.
all this. Yeah, forget all this junk. We're gonna have electricity, and I'm gonna have a big thing around my house. So like you could have this like aqua dam and like solar on your, and just be like, yeah, we're cool, and there's just like a lake around you.
Yeah.
It's wild. So let's see. I think Ripcord said his shop has solar for battery charging and lights. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to.
That'd be really cool to do if we've ever in shop somewhere.
I was telling them that I
would love to do it on the house.
Would love to have
just,
solar. We're
I
just
don't think
situated
we have
the wrong
enough,
way.
Yeah, and we don't have enough continuous sun, which I guess is the whole point.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder if they're going to start building neighborhoods and stuff to make sure that people are facing the right direction. You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting point because most of the neighborhoods are kind of weird,
right?
Weirdly, or a lot of them like have curves,
right?
That if they did plan for solar,
I never thought about that because otherwise you'd have
really
to do like weird platforms or something on your roof, which seems like that could be more problematic and expensive. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So I would love solar. So that's cool hearing some of these folks saying that. I would love to have an F-150 Lightning. Those things look just ridiculous.
Are they the things that have the sound effects if you want to make it sound like you have
there's a
big,
lot of Tesla
engine.
has all kinds of things like that, but
or just to like let people
you can
know I'm coming.
You can run your house off the truck.
What?
There's like a setting where you can basically be like, all right, run the house off of the battery.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, you through an inverter, obviously, or through a whatever, you plug it into your panel, just the same way you would plug in a generator. You'd like switch it and be like,
yeah, that's wild.
And only run a certain amount of circuits, I'm sure.
Right.
But
it's like limited, but still.
How awesome that'd be. Just be like, power's out. I'm gonna go hook up the truck.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The shivers there.
All right. This they're laughing. They said Susan heard that you may drink her beer and she came running, and the first question was, did you drink it?
I did not. So you just said that?
That's
awesome.
Yeah, I just said it like right before you had to come in.
If I was that good, that'd be pretty impressive.
Yeah, Daniel, I would love to see hybrid tools as well, plug-in as well as battery. There's not very many of those. They're one or the other typically. But this fan, actually, it's here, right here, in the spirit of just grabbing stuff off the shelf. And this one's been around for a while.
Reach. Yeah, that's been for a while. Oh.
So it's battery powered, but it even says hybrid, but it's got a plug right in there. So
pretty smart.
Good on rigid for that design. That's a cool design.
It's a little cobwebby. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that, folks. We might not be recording at all at this point, but by the way, I do love this fan. This is a fantastic fan.
We've had that fan a long time.
It's fantastic.
Oh, jeez, Brad. It'll be here all
That
night.
This is a very nice fan.
My favorite memory
we
about
take
that
it like
fan.
camping.
We went on a Boy Scout or Cub Scout family camp out years ago. I have a picture of Brad. It was so
was
hot.
like
It must have
Mid
been
to upper 90s.
Yeah, it was in the fall, but you know, like it was hot. And we got there. I remember I was like, we're going to be late. We're going to be late. And he was like, it's hot outside. What are we missing? I'm like, good point. So we rolled in kind of late, but it was still blazing. And you laying in the back of the van, we were unpacking the van, and he was just laying in the back of the van with that fan blowing directly on him. And I'm sure you were still hot.
I was like,
But
I'm
that-
not leaving.
That van has saved us on so many camping
has.
trips because, you know, it's so nice.
We
to
just
be able
have
to,
it
like,
right there in
have
the
your
tent,
fan going.
blowing on you.
Get
Plus
some
it's
air
white
circulation.
noise.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Highly recommend that one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little heavy, so if you're like hiking in, that
It
might
is,
be a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
But
clearly,
if you're just like, you know,
It's for glamping only.
yeah,
But,
it's just like parking and camping right there. What's that called? Car parking when you park right there and you camp right there. There's a name for that.
like RV? Oh, like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
There's like a name for that, but
Drive in.
I would love to go glamping.
Camp
That
out?
sounds great.
Drive in, camp out? It should be named that if it's not.
No, it's like park. I don't know. I feel like I'm making this up. It's
You
possible.
are. It's okay.
I can't Google it on my phone.
Paul, how long ago did I meet John Malecki and start the podcast I
Oh
mentioned?
gosh. When did you meet John?
It was,
It's been a long time.
it has been a long time.
Yeah.
I was going to say 2018, but that's not right. Because
No.
It was probably 2016.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I would
That-
say
that
probably
sounds about right.
2016,
5
2017.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
I remember you like, I met this guy named John. And you guys had just like hit it off, you know? Like,
Where did we meet? We met
At a
at
convention of some
Yeah,
sort.
it was at the Woodworking Show of Atlanta.
oh wow.
So yeah, I think it was 2016.
Yeah. I mean, networking at its finest right
Networking
there.
at its finest, there you
yeah.
go.
Yeah. It was fun.
All right, Yellowstone Aquatics.
Right.
Welcome. It's
Oh.
just that's what it's called.
I thought somebody was talking about Yellowstone. We have not seen
Unfortunately, we are ending the live now. We're right at an hour, so we actually went
You
long.
are a little long.
I know.
I've been
You
here
leave
about
me
10
alone.
minutes. Not even that.
Leave me alone, and I just
I know. They're
just
going to be
go.
like, leave Susan off the show all the time.
They're like,
Because he answered a million more questions than normal. He stayed on topic, I assume.
no. All right, guys. So
He's like, I'm not answering that.
keep on the lookout for the video. Again, you know, whatever. We'll see you next Sunday, and so you'll
Right.
know if we launched it that day or not. I do hope to launch it this Sunday, but that'll be in approvals here this week, and hopefully we'll get that out ASAP. Hope everybody has an awesome week, and we will see you next time.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Get out there and build something awesome. See ya.